Hello everyone, welcome back, and here we are. We're gonna do this chat. Oh, we're gonna chat with Zam, who's gonna help us find the astrology equipment we need to help Layla's thesis. So we're gonna do that now. Attack! Yeah. Oh, yeah, it wasn't killing him. I had to start.
Hello, are you Azam?
Yes, I am. How may I help you?
You explained to Azam the purpose of your visit.
Ah, I see. Well, if it's a request from an adventurer, then I'll be happy to help you. I just so happen to have the device that you're looking for. Let me fetch it and show you, just to be sure.
Yes, this is it. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding
I
me?
didn't mean to interrupt
Oops.
you. I just got a little excited. Please go ahead.
To be honest, judging by what stands before me, I find it very hard to believe that you're an astute Ratawahist student.
Well...
Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time and mora to collect. I cherish them as if they were members of my own family, which is why I don't let just anyone borrow them on a whim. These devices are delicate and can easily be damaged if used inappropriately.
Oh, that's completely understandable. What can I do to better gain your trust?
How about this? I don't need a deposit or anything, but I'd like you to share the contents of your research with me. I'll ask you some questions. If your explanation proves satisfactory, then I'll lend you the device.
Share the contents of my research and answer questions?
Don't be nervous, just explain what you've learned.
Alright, I'll try. But I can't disclose the actual details to you. How about a general overview of the research? Would that suffice?
Yes, that would be fine.
You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future, as well as attempt to summarize the correlating principles, correct?
Of course. This is the basic principle of astrology.
My current research is about a certain phenomenon called astral shift.
Interesting. That's not a topic any ordinary person would be familiar with. I have a basic understanding of the concept, but I'd like to hear you explain it.
Okay. Well, in short, it means that the results derived from astrology are prone to change. As time continues to flow, the stars change and everything else becomes affected by this change. However, what's actually driving the change is what's worth investigating.
I think that it might just be another law of nature.
If the changes follow a certain pattern or routine, then it could be explained as some law. But the changes are manifold, even when considering just a single star. The changes could be resulting from a simple single orbit shift, or it could be a more complex double orbit, or even a triple or quadruple orbit shift. These phenomena have a dramatic effect on astrological conclusions. What I'm working on now is the research and prediction of the triple orbit shift phenomenon.
Triple orbit? By yourself?
Yes. That's right.
You do know that adding an extra star to the equation increases the computational workload by more than tenfold, right?
It does get a little complicated, but it's still manageable with the use of a few self-invented techniques and a large number of star logs and star charts. Which leads us to why I'm in need of a high-precision celestial globe.
Amazing. I suppose I should never have judged a book by its cover. I thought you were just trying to half-heartedly deal with some school assignment.
Do I really look like that sort of person?
Don't worry. I'm just joking. I was a little cautious at first, but now I trust you completely. It would make me extremely happy if my collection could assist a researcher in achieving tangible results. Just make sure you return it to me once you're done.
Oh, thank you so much. I really needed this. Good thing Azam was willing to hear me out.
I didn't really understand what you were talking about, but I thought you did great.
Really? I was just explaining what it is I'm trying to do.
You're starting to show signs of becoming a great researcher.
Really? I don't know if you really mean it, but
I don't.
I'm happy to hear that.
I'm glad.
I guess even the hardest problems can be solved as long as I'm willing to try.
I can.
Recording and comparing data will be much easier now that we have this device. I can do it all on my own, too. Let's continue with the plan. Can you help me with the rehearsal of my thesis defense? We can do that at the House of Dina.
Okay, I'm going back there. Excellent. Perfect. I would not have wanted anything more in my life. There again. Alright, anyway. Let's head back inside. Isn't it just right here? What's above me? Let's see. I'm lazy. Don't touch me. Lazy button. Meow meow.
This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't disturb anyone. So here's what will happen during my thesis defense. After I present my thesis, the advisor sitting below will begin to ask questions. Theoretically, I should be able to answer any questions related to my thesis. However, I tend to get really nervous when my advisors look at me, and I end up completely forgetting what I plan to say. That's why I want to rehearse and practice presenting my points in front of someone.
So I'm playing the role of an academic advisor, right?
That's right. You should have gotten the gist of the content of my thesis when I was explaining it earlier. So ask away. It's okay if your questions are a little off. I'll still treat them as real questions from an advisor and answer seriously.
Got it? Got it. You ready?
Wait a moment. Alright, Layla, you got this.
She's already.
You were able to explain everything earlier, so you can do it again. Alright, ask away.
Okay. Can you briefly describe the application of the law of triple orbit shift calculation? Great machine.
Sure. The direction of this research is based on the results of previous research. It's about the feasibility of applying my methodologies to the remaining triple orbit problems. Based on a sample size of 124 cases, we could only achieve approximately 60% accuracy. The results were not reliable enough to be implemented as a law. You can see the common traits of the erroneous samples on page 3. Excuse me, I mean from the star logs in the appendix. It's clear that in each of the erroneous samples, one of the stars underwent a significant shift. This means that, we not only need to limit the number of stars, but we may also need to consider the degree of shift when applying triple orbit shift algorithms. Stars with greater shifts are often key in astrology readings. The next step of the research should be... the next step should be to identify the feasible thresholds of shift for applying our calculations. And that's my answer to your question. Do you have any other questions?
Despite a few stumbles here and there, Layla successfully managed to answer all the questions.
We're finally done. I'm gonna need more practice. I can feel myself getting flustered, and I start to stumble whenever I'm asked questions that I'm unfamiliar with.
The presentation could use some work, but I can tell that your logic is sound.
Oh, really? You mean it?
Yeah?
Then this practice must be helping. During my first thesis defense, I stood like a statue on the stage and my palms were covered in sweat. I couldn't get a single word out.
It seems we managed to address all the major challenges for you.
I didn't even realize it, but you're right. It doesn't seem like there's anything holding me back now. I guess that means I'm capable of completing the thesis all on my own. I can hardly believe it. This is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm really excited. This is the first time this has happened, really. I'm so happy.
Worked hard to reach this point. You don't need to rely on others anymore.
I'm not sure how to put this. I'm really happy about everything that's happened, but I'm also feeling a little sad. I still don't know anything about the blessing from the stars. Will it never happen again since I don't need its help anymore? That somehow makes me feel a little lonely.
Lonely.
Yeah, it almost makes the blessing feel like it was just a tool used for my studies, no? But I would really like to discover what the blessing actually is, if I ever get the chance. I want to express my gratitude for it, or better yet, maybe we could be friends. That's basically how I feel about it. Even if I know nothing about the blessing, I could still feel its companionship all along. It's almost like how you helped me. I really cherish and appreciate it. After all, it wouldn't be right to take such blessings for granted in our lives.
I'm sure it will also be very happy to know you feel this way.
That's good. I hope it's a little more satisfied with the way I am now.
Yay! She's already tense. A matter of course, natural yet incredible, and the unfolding of events will be etched in her memories for a long time to come. Alright, so I complete that one. That's like the good ending of that one, I guess. Though there is a split right near the end. Oh, there's a secret. Interesting. How is that achieved? Okay, there's another ending at the very end of this. So let's answer all the different...
This seems like the best spot to... So, here's theoretically...
That's gonna stress her out, I
however,
guess.
that's why... it's okay if your question... Alright.
Do you know about the Great Machine?
Huh? No. What is that? Is this something that I didn't prepare for at all? You've gotta be joking. About this question, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling very well. Everything is spinning.
Are you okay? Nope. Whoop.
I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I tend to get dizzy from time to time, but don't worry, I'm fine now. What's wrong?
I'm waiting for you to answer my question.
Oh, sorry. Can you please repeat the question? I didn't hear you clearly just now.
You speak different. You speak very differently from the Layla I know.
Alright. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Of all the times to wake up. You're Layla's friend, right? And from the looks of things, the two of you are preparing for her thesis defense?
Wow. Yep, and you must be the blessing from the stars.
With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and varying sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her?
Well, she's finally decided to face the problems with her thesis head on, and she's working very hard on it.
Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. Now then, I can't really help her prepare for the thesis defense, so I'll be leaving some notes behind instead. You'll have to give them to her later. Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask now. I can answer you as I write. I'm used to multitasking. Oh, and I have to ask a favor. When you give the notes to her later, please don't tell her about my existence.
Why is that?
Well, she's always been in a fragile state. If she knew that there was another Layla who's always taking care of everything, she might feel like everything she's ever worked for is pointless, and that could lead to some demoralizing thoughts. She's a resilient girl, but no matter how resilient she may be, no one can hold up to criticism and torment from themselves. If her condition grows any worse, it's possible that I might cease to exist as well. Then there wouldn't be anyone to help her.
But she's not doing very well now either.
She's getting better though, isn't she? It's apparent how hard she's working now. She's my source of knowledge. I'm merely the representation of how she would be if she were rested and healthy. I believe that she's one of the best, even in a place like the academia where geniuses come by the handful. But growth is a process and shouldn't be rushed. I will always believe in and support her.
It's good that she has you, or she might have already hit rock bottom.
Believe me, even if she were to end up at rock bottom, she'd find a way to somehow laugh it off as one of her silly mistakes and climb her way out. That's the kind of person she is. Alright, I've written down all the possible questions that I think the advisors might ask. Next, I'll put together a few words of encouragement for her. I'm not going to sign it, obviously. Oh, and don't forget about our agreement.
You got it. The star's expectations. They will never meet, but she will always be there to walk alongside her. Okay, so just like I guess it's like different moments when I stress her out. Alright, back outside. Boop, boop.
Yeah?
Explain me to Azam the purpose of your visit.
Ah, I see.
Yes, this is...
Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time, which is... How about if you're...
If you mess this up, you won't be able to gain his trust.
You're starting to make me feel nervous.
Don't fuck it up, Layla!
I'm sorry. I feel a little dizzy.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. My mind just decided to stray elsewhere for a moment. Give me a second to gather myself. Oh, is this the celestial globe that I needed to borrow?
Why is she asking?
Correct. I was about to test you with a few questions, but you suddenly started looking very uncomfortable.
Oh, don't worry about it. I don't sleep very well, so I tend to get a little dizzy from time to time. I'm fine now.
She seems a little different all of a sudden. Oh, I see. Well then, can you briefly summarize your area of research for me?
With pleasure. I'll give you a general overview. You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of the celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future. Due to the difficulty of designing an experiment and the challenges of validating theories about the past, astrological research is usually based on an immense foundation of experience. And therein lies the largest complexity. Derived and validated conclusions may vary due to subtle changes caused by the flow of time and shifts in the stars.
Ah, I've heard about this before. I believe it's known as astral shift.
One of the most classic challenges is to use 3 stars with shifting orbits to predict the overall changes that may have occurred.
Ah, are you referring to the triple orbit problem? Yes, that really is a classic problem. and a very difficult one to tackle.
I came up with a set of prediction methods that encompass more than half of the triple orbit problems. However, there are quite a few limitations and requirements. This set of methods is already being put into practice at the Ratawa Darshan by my advisor, drastically simplifying the difficulty of calculations involved in the triple orbit problem.
Yes, I've heard about that. The announcement made big waves in the astrology enthusiast community. So, you were the one who came up with that?
You mustn't judge a book by its cover, you know. The thesis I'm working on this time aims to address the remaining triple orbit problems, as well as eliminate a portion of the methodology's limitations, which will make it easier to use.
I see. In that case, perhaps there's no one more fitting to operate this device than you. I just keep it as part of a collection. I can't use it to its full potential like you can.
Thank you for understanding. I'll return it in perfect working order once I'm finished with it. Okay, we should be going now. What did we plan to do after this? I kind of forgot.
You aren't Layla, are you?
Huh? What makes you say that? Is there something off about me?
Your personality changed.
Fine. Looks like I can't keep the act up any longer. I even tried to look a little panicky to emulate her behavior.
You're the blessing from the stars, aren't you?
I suppose that is what she's been calling me. With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and variable sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her?
Well, she's finally decided to face the problems with her thesis head-on, and she's working very hard on it.
Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. She's only steps away from the finish line. She's already made a lot of progress, so there's no need to push too hard now. Anyway, what's the plan from here?
She said that she wanted to practice for her thesis defense.
I see. Well, it wouldn't be of any help if I practiced for her, but I'll leave some notes that should come in handy. Come on, let's go back to the House of Dana to make preparations. You'll have to tell her later when she wakes up.
Okay, so does that lead around the same path then? How does that work? Oh no, this is actually okay. This is new. Okay. I think.
Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask now. I can answer you as I write. I'm used to multitasking. Oh, and I have to ask a
So this is
Well,
the same dialogue.
If her condition grows, she's I believe, but growth is a problem. That's the kind. All right, I'm not going to sign it up.
Okay, so it's the same way. It's like just a different way to get to it. Yeah, it just loops around. Okay. Alright, so change of pace, I guess. I have to make her turn here. Somehow. I guess not standing up for her.
one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi. We just submitted our seeing how relaxed.
Oh,
You say that, yet you're always
well, I...
What are you getting at?
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group at all. It's one thing that every time we come to see her, she looks... It's not like we can't finish our own theses without her.
I know. Sorry.
Everyone is entitled to their own choices. You should learn to respect that.
Whatever. There's no point in starting an argument here. If you think she can justify her behavior, then that's your opinion.
I really want to help the... Yeah, it's real. It's actually... huh? What do you mean?
Only by improving yourself and no longer relying on external power can break you out of this vicious cycle.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Seems you know just as well as I do. The thing is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just me, and the more nervous I get, the worse things become.
Sounds like we need to find a way for you to completely relax.
Completely relax? But we're at a cafe. Is this not relaxing enough?
Academics are only one part of life.
I know, but...
Need a hobby.
Alright, no more buts. My life is a mess because of the decisions I've made for myself. I should listen to your advice this time. How do I completely relax?
Since you're from the countryside, why don't we leave Samara City and go sightseeing?
Sightseeing? That does sound pretty nice.
Also not relaxing.
I haven't set foot outside the academia in quite a while. I used to enjoy visiting the rainforest, but it's been a while since I've been there. Maybe a lot has changed. Okay, why don't we go there and take a look?
Alright.
Hey, where's everybody going?
Boo whoop.
Even the air here feels more relaxing. I just want to forget about the thesis altogether. I'm just kidding. Knowing me, I'd only be able to forget about it for a little while. This doesn't count as trying to avoid my problems, does it?
Your state of mind is just as important as efficiency if you want to solve the problems that you're facing.
That's quite the legitimate excuse. No, it's more of an explanation. Even I'm starting to get bolder with my words.
Yeah, like you want to
I
fight?
grew up in a place like this. Looking into the distance now with the breeze in my face makes me feel like a kid again. Those were the happiest days.
What did you usually do as a kid?
I had a bunch of friends back then, and we would go pick wild berries in the woods. No matter what ingredients we found, we would cook them over a fire, and whoever lost one of our games would have to eat all of it.
That sounds a little intense.
No, it wasn't that bad. It really depended on how lucky you were. Grilled apples and sunsettias are actually quite delicious.
Why don't we go find something to grill as well?
Sure. I haven't done that in ages. Let's go.
Let's go.
Apples and zaytun peaches were the most popular fruits back then. Oh, and of course grilled fish is delicious too. Fish skin releases oils while cooking, which drip into the fire and cause it to burn even brighter. But we would always get yelled at by the grown-ups if they caught us sneaking into the river to catch fish. What's the big deal? We just want to swim. That's what we used to say. But now that I think about it, it really was quite dangerous. Thank goodness nothing bad ever happened. I think we found enough now, don't you?
There you go.
Alright, these should be enough. There's nothing like the smell of fresh ingredients. They already smell delicious. I'll be here cleaning the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Alright.
I'll be here washing the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Look alive! You asked for it.
Sight clear. Ha!
Catch that! Sign here, please!
Taking a turn for the better.
Buckle up!
A bitter pill to swallow. Come at me!
Coming through!
Breaking new ground! Kya, tuh. Kya.
No, it's a random event. I will tackle it. I'm crazy.
Let's get it on! Gloves off!
Yeah. You make a fire with Layla and enjoy delicious food.
Fresh food is the best. I feel like I've traveled back in time. We all used to run around in the woods when we were kids. Trees and mud was the world we knew best. It doesn't matter how long I'm away from the forest, I won't ever forget the feeling of running through the trees. Oh, how about you? Can you relate to that feeling? It's almost like not knowing the world will change or ever expecting it to change.
I'm afraid not. I'm an adventurer after all. Although adventurers rarely ever stay in one place. Hope I can experience that feeling one day.
Whatever the case, it's a very warm feeling. In the end, I passed the admissions exam, and the life I had led came to an abrupt end. Later, as I sat in a lecture at the academia, my mind started to wander and I began to think about home. It was then that I realized how long it had been since I went back. I can't go back anymore. And other similar thoughts started to come to mind. I guess I'm still not used to being in the academia yet.
There's a purpose for every stage in life.
You're right. So we should let go of the past. I suppose this is also part of growing up. But reminiscing about the carefree life of being a kid sure works wonders for the mind. You start missing those moments once you leave them behind, and that's part of moving forward. From now on, I'd like to cherish every single day of my life, even when it's not the smoothest of rides.
Everything will get better. I know you can do it.
I'll take the compliment. A little bit of sugar and a good view really go a long way for relaxation. I thought it'd be impossible for me to enjoy something like this. I thought I'd never be able to get my mind off my thesis. But now, I feel like I'm fully enjoying myself. It's really great. So, what are we doing next?
Sometimes you don't need a plan. It's nice to just stroll around and see what happens.
You're right. I've been doing research for so long that I'm used to having a certain routine. A carefree stroll. Huh. I like the sound of that.
Oh, there's more to do. Okay. Excuse me.
Wow. I never knew there was such a large lake here. It's so beautiful. The feeling of cool lake water can wash away all your troubles. Can you wait for a minute? I'd like to wash my face. I think it'd be refreshing.
Why don't we just go for a swim?
Huh? A swim? I can't remember the last time I went swimming. I might not even know how to anymore.
It's impossible. It's one of those things that you never forget.
Okay. I'll try to swim over there.
Let's see who can get there first.
Wait, no. I'll definitely lose. No. Forget about winning or losing, Layla. It'll be fun either way. Wait, we're starting already?
Yay, let's swim. Oh. Let me switch the lane. There we go. Ah. Swim, Layla, swim. Swim, you salty sea dog. Then they ration that out, I might drown if I go further.
As expected, I lost. How would I be able to beat an adventure at something like this?
I think you're a great swimmer. You weren't too far behind.
Really? Among my childhood friends, I was considered one of the more athletic ones. But that's just like how I used to think that I had a gift for learning. After coming to Sumeru City, I realized that I only thought that because my hometown is such a small place. On top of that, I'm getting weaker and weaker because I'm barely able to sleep nowadays. There's no way I can bring myself to brag about anything now.
You really are too modest.
Please, you're always encouraging me. I'm starting to feel embarrassed, but swimming again really feels great. Every muscle in my body was engaged. I probably wouldn't have to worry about my thesis if I turned into a fish, don't you think? I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sure fish have worries of their own. I'm quite content with how things are right now. Let's keep going, shall we? There's a mushroom here. You want to jump on it to see what's up there?
Yeah.
I haven't done this in a while. I kinda want to give it a try.
Really, it's just kind of leading it random direction. Yeah.
We've walked pretty far now, but I barely felt the time passing by. I've been staring at books in my thesis every day. I've forgotten how nice and happy life actually can be.
That's why I say that your life shouldn't completely revolve around your studies.
You're right. No matter how much of a hard time I'm having in academics, I should still find the time to look after myself and fulfill my needs. You really understand more about life than I do.
Would you like to take the opportunity to release all your stress?
Release my stress?
Whatever that means?
Oh, I see what you mean. Being at the top of a mountain really does make someone want to yell out loud. But it's a little uncivilized, isn't it?
It's okay. We're already here, so we should make the best of it.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Just promise not to laugh, okay?
Do the tightest laugh. Oh god, I would die if she started doing the ha 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 ha.
What an amazing day!
Close enough.
It feels like my entire body is bubbling with excitement after yelling like that. This happiness was so common as a child, but before I knew it, this feeling was buried in the bottom of my heart. It's getting late. Why don't we rest here for a while? I'll tell you some interesting astrology stuff when the stars come out. Oh, but it's alright if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff. We can also tell jokes about life, or talk about anything you're interested in.
You can chat about whatever you like.
Okay. Then I'll tell you more about me. The only reason I ever chose to study astrology is because of how beautiful the stars are at night. That's all. My teacher told me that nature possesses a certain power that grants people an equal amount of kindness and fairness, regardless of the different talents they may possess. And that's why I wanted to call the kind person who's always helping me as the blessing from the stars. The stars in the sky are something that brings happiness to people.
Yes, they truly are.
Everything about home is filled with purity and passion. My memories of that place are wonderful. I never want to forget them. If I were to ever discard anything so pure, I don't think I'd ever be able to find a place to anchor myself in the vast sea of knowledge. That's why, no matter how tiring or how hard it gets, I won't let my family down. They are already an important part of me.
That's another reason not to lose yourself in the face of pressure.
Yeah. Thank goodness you were there to help me out, or I don't know where I would have ended up. We probably still have a while until the stars come out. Only kids sit around like this, waiting for the stars to appear.
Alright, a moment of respite. Wonder if she's exhausted or if she's finally relaxed. Let's protect this precious moment for just a while longer. And alright, I guess that is it, guys, for Layla. Yay! Alright, well, actually wasn't too bad. I mean, there was the true ending, that path I did very initially was kind of boring, but it got kind of interesting when we got to the outside and seeing all the different transformation sequences, so. Alright, I guess that's the end of that. I can't really do Kave's next, because I don't have the keys for it, because I'm a dumbass. I'm a stupid bunny. But, if I have time, I don't think I do, but, yeah, well. Maybe tomorrow I'll get the keys for this, and we'll complete this, unless it's, well, I think tomorrow's actually the Fontaine release, so, or the maintenance for it, so I don't know. If so, then I guess I'll see what happens when that gets released. But anyways, I don't know. I'll do what I can, as I always do. I love you guys, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Mwah.